So let's all begin by laying down on our backs. Taking a deep breath in and exhale fully. Just starting to settle down into the moment together. Feeling the ground below you. Feeling the air around you. Just landing here, right where you're at. Let's take a deep inhale together, holding it at the top, and exhale, release. So today I want to talk a little bit about authenticity, which has kind of been a topic that has been around. And it's pretty much just allowing ourselves to shine brightly just as we are. So often we tend to dim our light to try to fit in or to be accepted, or maybe even to make others not feel uncomfortable. So we edit certain parts of ourselves. We hide our quirks. We hide our truth. But by doing so, all we're doing is just suppressing who we really are and disconnecting from that power. Take a deep inhale through your nose, holding it at the top, and exhale, release. And authenticity is not about being perfect. It's just about being real. It's about embracing your strengths, your vulnerability, just that special, unique way that you move through this world. This also gives permission to others around you to do the same. So your light actually invites and reminds all of those around you that they can shine on their own way. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it out. So the reflection for the night will be, what parts of your life are you dimming that light? What parts of yourself are you holding back? Remembering that that authenticity that we have is our power. And the world needs your light, your unique and special light to shine bright. Starting to invite back some movement into our bodies. Wiggling our fingers, our toes. Taking those hands overhead for a big stretch. Maybe tickle the feet of the person behind you. Bringing those knees towards our chest, giving yourself a big hug today. Perhaps slightly rocking side to side. And very slowly rocking front to back so we can meet at a seated position. I love all the lighty ears. Yeah, your stickers are pretty cool too. So let's all take a deep, big inhale, bringing those hands up towards the sky. Palms connect as we exhale it down. Let's begin with some warm-ups. So let's warm up that neck, bringing your ear over to one side and on to the other. Perhaps going around in one direction. And on the other direction. Coming back to center, let's take those hands towards our shoulders and just making circles in one direction. And in the other. Dropping that left hand towards the side, right hand comes over. As we cartwheel on to the other side. You look like a mermaid, which is perfect, because we're ending in mermaid. Per your request, ma'am. Coming back through center. Let's take a deep inhale as we twist over to the right. Inhaling up back to center. Exhale over to the left. Coming back through center, extending out those legs, taking a deep inhale and falling forward. And slowly coming back up. Bringing those feet back to meet at our tabletop.
Tabletop.
Ray's favorite, tabletop. So taking the moment to just start to connect to that body, start releasing any tension, perhaps in your hips, your legs. Maybe closing our eyes or softening that gaze down. Making just any intuitive movements. And moving through some cats and cows together. So as we inhale, gaze up towards the sky, belly drops. Exhale, push off that mat with your hands, curling your back. Inhaling up. Exhale, curl. And one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, curl. Bringing that right foot towards the outside of our mats. Right hand rises up as we thread the needle under and over to the left. Remember that if you're tickling the person's foot, there's going to be payback once you go to the other side. So slowly rising back up, taking that hand back down, foot comes in, left foot comes to the outer side of our mat, grounding from that right hand. Left hand rises up, and we thread the needle over to the other side. Slowly coming back up into our tabletop. Let's take that right foot and plant it in between our palms at the top of our mat and slowly rise up to our runner's lunge. Dancing runner's lunge. With the help of our hands, shifting our weight forward. I love this pose. I do. Yeah. And then with the help of your hands, walking back, extending that front leg into a half split. Once more, coming all the way up. And back to that half split.
I always have to pick up my foot and move it forward to get it to feel right.
As we walk those hands over to the top of our mat, let's wiggle that right foot to the outside of our mat. That back leg can stay right where it's at, or tucking those toes, extending our leg for a lizard. Several options here in lizard. Either you can move front to back, side to side, maybe coming down on your forearms, or taking that right hand to that right knee for a deeper stretch. Planting those hands down on our mat, let's take that right foot back for a high plank or supported plank. Dropping those knees, taking our left foot to the top of our mat for our runner's lunge. Hands rise up. I like this song.
That breath.
Shifting that weight forward with the help of our hands. And then you kind of feel like, I have a weird side. Walking those hands back, front leg extends out for a half split. And once more, walking forward. Coming back to that half split. And this time, as we walk our hands forward, let's wiggle that foot out to the left corner of our mat. Now that back leg again can stay grounded for extra support or tucking those toes for an extra stretch in your lizard. And just finding any movement, perhaps rocking side to side, pulsing up and down.
Pulsing up and down.
Yeah,
Pulsing, right?
Pulsing.
bouncing lizard. Love it. Bringing that foot back to a high plank. And very slowly and with control, dropping to our bellies. Right leg comes out to a bend for a half frog. Yeah, today is an animal class. We can stay right where we're at, or with the help of our hands, bringing them towards our chest, rising up. You could also be a pulsing frog. Got a good balance, Jody. Coming all the way down.
Burton.
Left hand comes extended out. We're going to flip that leg over to the left side.
I'm coming.
And coming back to that half frog. Bringing that leg in. Now left leg bends out for our half frog on the other side.
Other leg.
And again, options to stay right here where you're at. You're walking those hands a little bit back towards your chest and slowly rising. And very slowly coming down to that level. Right hand comes out towards the side. And let's flip that left foot all the way over to the right. Coming back into that half frog pose. Let's bring that leg in. Maybe do a little windshield wipers with your feet. And then we're going to take a full frog pose. So both knees come out. And then again, option to stay right where you're at, or very, very slowly coming up. That's my favorite stretch.
Burton.
That's literally dying.
Coming all the way down. And windshield wiping those feet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My hips. I even project. It's just
Dropping those legs. Let's bring our hands next to our chest, tucking those toes, and we're going to move into a downward facing dog. So taking the time to paddle or walk your dog, making bends to those knees, or perhaps swaying heads side to side.
Psst, Josie. Read my legs.
Gazing forward to the top of your mat, and let's hop or walk those feet into a forward fold. allowing that entire upper body just to hang heavy. Perhaps taking hold of opposite elbows into a ragdoll pose and swaying side to side.
My legs say, let's
Dropping those
calculate.
hands back down into your forward fold. And very, very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, start rising up. Allowing your head to be the very last to meet at the top. Here in our mountain pose, finding any extra grounding with our breath.
The fuck?
ADHD to its finest. I'm taking a moment to start feeling those vibes. Hey. Now, let's get ready to flow. Let's take a big inhale, bring those hands up towards the sky, and exhale, falling
We
forward.
flowing.
Maybe a booty shake, fall forward. The people in the back got like prime real estate. Lifting up halfway.
She's got prime real estate.
Those hands, though, falling forward one more time.
With the secret message.
Taking a bend to those knees as much as needed so the palms of our hands can meet the top of the mat and stepping or hopping back into a high plank or supported plank. Coming halfway down, let's bring that chest through and up for our upward facing dog. And our tailbone comes up towards face for that downward facing dog. Right leg rises up. Let's plant that right foot at the top of our mats. And very slowly rising up to our crescent. Right hand comes back, left hand comes forward for a twist. Coming back through that center for our crescent. And we maybe sink a little bit deeper. He's just jelly, he's not joining. Right hand comes forward, left hand comes back for that twist. Taking our hands to prayer as we drop into that front leg for our Sandasana. Partner yoga. With the help of our hands, walking all the way over towards that left foot, right leg extends out. Shifting over towards the left, so you're going to be facing the street. And slowly rising up to that crescent. Coming back down, bending that left leg for our Skandasana. Walking those hands over towards the right foot. And with the help of our hands, turning over to the top of our mat, let's bring that left foot forward into our yogi squat or malasana. Jody's getting all of her requests. She's like, or pulsing malasana.
Pulsing.
Bounce on it.
Yes, ma'am. I like when you tell me what to do.
Planting those hands at the top of our mat and stepping or walking those feet back into a high plank. Coming halfway down into our upward facing dog and back to our downward facing dog. Gazing forward to the top of our mat and walking those feet back into our forward fold. And very slowly rising back up. Sweaty Betty. Let's take a deep inhale, bringing those hands up towards the sky. And exhale,
Ooh.
falling forward.
These ears, bro.
Lifting up halfway. And falling forward one more time. Your face, though. Planting those hands at the top of our mat and stepping or hopping back into a high plank or dropping those knees for a supported plank. And moving through a chaturanga or meeting back at a downward facing dog. My unicorn thingy keeps hitting the mat. Left leg rises up. Let's plant that left foot at the top of our mat and slowly rise up to that crescent.
Ooh.
This time, left hand comes back, right hand comes forward for a twist. Coming back through center for that crescent. Let's sink a little bit deeper. Maybe pulsing up and down, side to side.
Side to side. It's gonna break.
Right hand comes back, left hand comes forward. Bringing those hands to prayer. Let's bend that left knee, sending the right into our Skandasana. With the help of our hands, let's walk all the way over to that right foot. Right leg bends, left leg extends out.
Look at that cake, Burton.
With our hands, let's shift all the way to the right. Tuck that back toe and slowly rise up to that crescent. Slightly twisting again to the left, dropping down back into our Skandasana. Huh?
If I would have thought of this, I would have definitely asked for it.
Walking those hands to the top of our mat. Let's bring that right foot to the top of our mat for a yogi squat. Planting those hands at the top of our mat, taking a crow pose, no, just kidding, and stepping back into a high plank. Coming halfway down, bringing that heart through for our upward facing dog, and back to our downward facing dog.
I'm trying not to rip serious ass right now. What?
Josie, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So I suggest you keep your eyes on your mat, ma'am. Gazing forward to the top of the mat, walk those feet all the way into your forward fold. Very slowly rising back. Taking a few inhales and exhales. I'm going to take a little dance break to rehydrate.
Wet the lips.
So maybe even closing your eyes. Just feel the music. No? Don't close your eyes? And the cargo pants and everything. Let's all pose with Ray. That'll be the thumbnail. Taking a big inhale, bringing those hands up towards the sky. Exhale, let's fall forward one more
Damn it,
time.
Bobby, I'll tell you what.
Lifting up halfway. There's a pose, like if you plant your hands, try to lift up, it's called stacked.
Lift up your goal. Like
Your entire, yeah, I swear, it's insane. Falling forward one more time. Like even your feet, yeah. Right? Okay, we can staff in a bit. Planting those hands at the top of our mat, let's step or hop back into a high plank. And moving through our chaturanga or meeting back at a downward facing dog. Right leg rises up. Let's plant that right foot at the top of our mat. Left foot comes rounded down on an angle, and we're opening up for our warrior two. Shifting forward, back tiger firm, and reverse. And coming back to that warrior two. Let's take a bend to that right arm, bringing that arm over onto that knee. Left hand tries to reach the front of the room. Option here as well to drop that hand down towards the mat, opening up our chest towards the left side, or perhaps taking a bind, that right hand under, left hand behind your back. If you are in that bind, releasing that bind and slowly coming back to our warrior two. Now everyone's favorite, let's bring those feet over towards the left. Let's wrap those hips, maybe doing a little dance as we fall forward.
It looks like a frown. Look at it!
I'm not.
You're free to window shop, so hey. Lifting up halfway.
I'm inside of Andrew.
And falling forward one more time. Slowly lifting up, extending those knees, bringing those hands out towards the sky. So we are stars right now. We're dancing stars. We're pulsing stars.
You and pulsing. Everything's pulsing.
It's her. She's always doing it in class. Don't blame me. Bringing that right hand into a cartwheel down towards that right foot. Left hand rises up. Rotating our chest to the top of our mat. Let's wiggle that foot to face the top. Planting our hands at the top, slowly lifting up our back leg for a half split. And dropping that leg all the way to the back into our warrior two. Cartwheeling those hands to the top of the mat to frame that front foot. Stepping back into a high plank, into our downward facing dog. And walking those feet up to our forward fold. And very slowly rising back up. Taking a few rounds of inhales, exhales. The music is lit. Inhaling back up towards the sky. Exhale, falling forward one more time. Lifting up halfway. And falling forward. Planting those hands at the top of the mat, stepping back into our high plank, and moving through a chaturanga or coming back to our downward facing dog. Left leg rises up. Let's plant that left foot at the top of our mat, grounding down. Our right foot opening up for our warrior two. Reaching all the way forward and reverse. Moving back to that warrior two. Bringing that left arm over that knee. Right hand tries to reach the front of the room. And other options for our side angle to drop that hand down or perhaps bring that hand under. And then right hand behind your back for a bind. If you are in that bind, releasing that bind so we can come back up for our warrior two. Shifting those feet over to the right and falling forward.
Hi, big boy. Yes.
Hi. Lifting up halfway. And falling forward one more time. Slowly rising back up. Sending those hands out towards the sky for our dancing stars. Allowing that left hand to fall all the way over. Right hand reaches up towards the side. Right hand comes down. Let's move those feet to point the top of our mat. Grounding with our hands. Extending that left leg, right leg rises up for a half split. If you want a little challenge, try lifting up one of those hands and grabbing your left foot, or maybe both. Dropping that leg all the way back into our warrior two.
Oh.
Cartwheeling those hands to the top of our mat, stepping back into that high plank, and moving through our chaturanga or back to our downward facing dog. Gazing forward and walk or hop those feet to the top of your mat. It is warm.
You really sweat pants. What did you think was that? It's an amazing.
That's true.
Okay, Mom. Wow. So that's what you get for asking. Slowly rising back up. Taking a few rounds of inhales and exhales. Take a little dance break, water break, bathroom break.
Me? I'm bored, but poor Ryan is sweating.
It's cold over here. Okay.
We're nearly done, so. That's funny. Right? Did you purposely do the mermaid thingies?
Yes.
Okay. So I looked at you and I'm like, she does look like a mermaid. The top. Yep. Yep.
Give me a few.
All right. Hands come up towards the sky, taking a big inhale. Exhale it all the way down. Lifting up halfway. Wow. Pretty cool. We're all going to try that now. Falling forward one more time.
One step
Taking a bend to the knees as much as needed so we can plant our hands at the top of our mat and stepping or hopping back into a high plank. Bringing those hips up towards the sky for our downward facing dog. Right leg rises up. Let's bring that right knee towards our right wrist, dropping that, setting up for our pigeon. Options here in pigeon, we can stay right where we're at for an active pigeon pose, or we can start dropping down to our forearms or all the way down to our chest. Since I've been working on it, I can keep on this. It's the same color of your leggings too. Slowly bringing that chest up. Keeping that right leg bent. Let's bring left leg to a bend, perhaps with the help of our hand. Now for a bit of an extra challenge, try bringing in that foot, maybe hooking it up with your arm. And if you want to go into a full mermaid pose like our beautiful mermaid up here, bringing that right hand behind your head and taking a grab of that left hand into a full mermaid bind. Slowly releasing out. Let's extend both legs out. Taking a deep inhale as we fall forward. Slowly rising back up. We're going to set for pigeon on the other side. So let's take a bend to that left leg. Right leg extends out. And again, option to stay in an active pigeon pose or allow your chest to drop all the way down. Slowly coming back up. Taking a bend now to that right foot, with the help of your right hand. Perhaps bringing that foot and hooking it in. Bringing left hand. And if you're trying to do a mermaid bind, you also now just realize that you have a gooder side. Slowly releasing that. Sending legs out once more. Let's drop all the way to the left. Swinging our body all the way over to the right. Bringing those hands back to the center. And slowly rising back up, rotating over to the right to meet at the top of our mats. Let's plant those feet on our mat and very slowly make our way to our backs through a boat pose. So holding our boat, or extending those arms, or perhaps extending legs and arms. Crunching your boat. Just kidding. Make your way all the way to the back. It is an amazing abs exercise, though.
I would forget that.
Bringing those knees back to our chest to give them a big, big hug. Thanking that body of yours for everything it does for you. Allowing those knees to drop all the way over to the right. Hands can come extended out. Bringing those knees all the way over through center to the other side. You should all link jokes. Grab Ray. Ray grabs. Doesn't that feel so good?
Yes. That feels so good.
And coming back to the center, planting those feet down on the mat. Hands come beside our hips to support our body so we can get into a bridge pose. So hands planted down by our hips, and our hips slowly rise up. And slowly coming all the way down. Taking an inhale. And as we exhale, lifting those hips back up towards the sky. Perhaps taking a bind with your hands below your back, or maybe going into full wheel pose. And slowly coming all the way down. Taking the moment to make any final movement that your body is asking for, or perhaps no movement at all. And when you're ready, making your way to your backs, finding a comfortable position. Let's take a few inhales and exhales. Using our breath to release any tension that might be left behind. Coming back to that reflection for the night, asking ourselves, where in our lives are we dimming our light? What are those parts of yourself that you're holding back? Taking a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out. Breathe into those spaces. Feel into what it would be like if you just let yourself shine fully and unapologetically. Always remembering that the world needs your light, your specific, unique, shiny, bright light. So let that shine. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose, holding it at the top. Taking a little bit more air in. Hold it. Exhale, release. Now this time we're going to take the biggest breath of air that we've taken in the entire day. So let's take a deep inhale, holding it at the top. Take a little bit more air in, just a little bit more. Hold it. Exhale it out.
I was just thinking.
I need the St. Pete kombucha,
Green white?
green, red, desert pear.
Huh?
Slowly inviting some movement back into our bodies. Wiggling those fingers. Wiggling our toes. Bringing those hands overhead once more. Bringing our knees towards our chest. Giving that body one last big, big hug. And very slowly rocking back front until we come to a seated position. Knock them out. I'm taking one last big collective inhale, bringing those hands up towards the sky, palms connect. As we exhale, stopping down at heart center. I hope you guys enjoyed our lovely Glowga from my heart to yours. Namaste.
Namaste.